Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and in today's video we're going to look at Trello for virtual assistant. Now, how can virtual assistant use Trello to work, and what does it mean, and how do you get started as a beginner virtual assistant or someone who already has some level of experience and you just want to add Trello to your toolbox? Okay, so what is Trello? Now, Trello is a project management tool that is used for productivity. Now, most businesses around the world want to track the activities of their staff members, and the best way to track those activities is to use Trello. Now, if they are not using Trello, what would they be using? They could be using email. Now, imagine that you are a business owner, you have 10 staff, and each time you want to ask these staff what they are doing because they are located in several different places, you really have to email them or message them on WhatsApp or create a Slack for them. But in that way, it's going to be disorganized because you will not know how to track, because the business owner may not know how to track each member's productivity in a day. But with Trello, you can actually track what every member is doing, what they have to do, whether they are doing it, and what they have finished doing. And in a full day, you don't have to ask whether your team members have worked or whether they have accomplished their goals, because you can just see their goals accomplished because you've seen them. And it is very easy to assign tasks to team members from anywhere around the world. Business owners can assign tasks to all their team members individually and track their performance as time goes on during the day until all tasks are completed. And in this way, team members can maintain accountability and deliver projects on time. So today we are going to look at how to use Trello, especially as a virtual assistant. Now, Trello is one of those project management tools that we have Monday.com, we have Asana, and we have T for teammate and all those ones. But Trello is the easiest to learn, and that's why I usually begin Trello for my virtual assistant students. Okay, so when you open Chrome and type Trello, all right, and then hit enter, it will load, and then you click on the first link that you see, this one. All right, so right now it lands on my own dashboard. This is my dashboard, but you have to register or sign up and then enter your details. They will send you a mail and then you confirm your email, and then you can land on this interface. This is the interface that you're going to land. If you have not created anything because you are new, this place is going to be full of adverts and all this. So when you land here on this interface, this is my dashboard. You can see the project I've created here. Now this project I also called workspaces. That's why you can see Trello workspaces. Okay. Now I've created these two projects before, but if I want to search for a project I've created, I simply come here and search for that project or choose from the drop down. Okay, but because you are going to be new here, or I assume that you are new, the first thing to do is to click this link that says create. And when you create, you have options to create with AI or create a new dashboard or choose from templates. My advice is to click this one to create from scratch. And then when you land on this interface, it is asking you to configure how you want your workspace to look like. And the first thing you have to choose the background. You can choose this background or this background, or you can choose plain color. All right, choose whichever color you like. I think I want to go with this or this. Let's go with this. Okay, so the next thing is to name your workspace or your board, and we're going to name it YouTube video project. Okay, and then visibility is you have to choose who can see this project you want to create. So we're going to leave it on workspace. Okay, and then click on create. All right, so we have created our dashboard. Okay, you can see it is called a board. This is what a board looks like. And when you want to start in the day, this is how it looks like. So if someone in your company created this board and they want to add you to this board, they'll simply click on this share button, add your email address here, all right, and then share it here as a member. Okay, you become a member, and then you get access to this board. But if you are the one doing it, if you're the one creating this board, when you finish creating this board, you simply click here, add the email addresses of all the team members you want them to have access to this board, and then click on share. All right, so we are going to learn how to create our own board as virtual assistant or as a project manager or someone managing a project. So the first thing you have to do is understand what these buttons are for. Now this is your profile here, and this is power surge. This one doesn't concern you. This is automation. You haven't gotten to this place. And this is filter. Okay, and this is star. You have to star this board to make it important or pin it to the timeline. and this is for you to change visibility. You change who has access to this, who can see this, all right, and it's for you to share it with your team members. All right, so what we're going to do now is to create our workspace and manage our project. This is the project, and in this project we are going to do one thing. We are going to create a planning. We're going to plan a YouTube video creation. Okay guys, so this is the project we are going to handle. The project is a YouTube video for this YouTuber, Mr. Beast, okay? And then Mr. Beast wants us to plan his production, okay? And we are going to take care of the pre-production in this particular video for the sake of this video. And what are we going to do? We are going to look at what happens during the pre-production of a video, of a YouTube video. First of all, there is the ideation phase, all right? Then the creation of thumbnails, okay? And then scripting and outlining, and then we have to shortlist and asset prep. Now, to plan this, we have, two staff, right? Two talents here. One is a graphic designer, okay? Two team members are in charge of this particular project. One of them is Chidima, right? And Mary. Chidima and Mary. Okay, so those are the two people in charge of this particular project. Now, Chidima is a designer. Okay, is a designer, and Mary is a copywriter. Mary is a copywriter. They are both virtual assistants. All right. Now, because they are not working in the same office with Mr. Beast, who is the YouTuber, their client, their boss. Okay, so how is Mr. Beast supposed to know that Chidima is doing her job and Mary is doing her job? Now let me show you how Mr. Beast can manage these people, okay, to make sure that at the end of the day they complete this job. All right, let's go. So you come back to your board. This is my board. So we are going to learn how to manage them. The first thing you have to do is to add a list. All right. Now a list is a list of things that you need to do to accomplish a goal. And what is that list here? We are going to name it to do. This is to do. And then you add another list, okay, called doing. Okay. And then you add another list called ready for review. And you add another list called project completed. We add another list called project completed. Okay, now these are the 4 lists we have. Project completed. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we are going to do is, what do we need to do in this phase? What do we need to do in this phase here and here? So what we are going to do now is we are going to click here to add a card. A card is something that describes the to do. Right, so the title here is to do. What do we need to do? And then all those things we need to do, you add them here. For instance, let's go back to this brief. This is the brief, okay? So the brief is, the first thing to do is, the first thing that we're going to do to accomplish this video project is to brainstorm concepts, right? And how do we do that? We list 5 to 10 ideas based on niche, all right? That's the first thing that we need to do, okay? And then, let me show you something. If you are the virtual assistant and you see this and you're like, okay, what does this person actually want me to do? How will I do this? To know the details, to see the details of this particular task, okay, you click here. And then when you click here, you see the task here, brainstorm concept, list 5 to 10 ideas based on your niche. Now, your client is going to have a description here. You look here, you see the description of the task, all right? Your task is to come up with 5 to 10 video ideas based on our niche. That is your task. All right, so you just have to come up with, like, let's say 100 ideas, and out of that 100 ideas, sift out 50, and out of that 50, sift out 20, and out of that 20, sift out 10 best ideas, all right, for your next video based on, okay, all right, on your niche, okay. And then this is the first thing you see, and after this, you can also change the text here, change the text styles here. You can make this bold, okay, make this bold. You can make this Italian, all right, italics. Okay, you can also have bullet point and numbered list here. Then you can add a link. Okay, if you have a link that you want to link here, you can add from another website in case you want the person wants you to do some research and they want you to point you to a particular website. The person will also add the link here. Here is to add an image to this description. Okay, and then you want to insert other elements like emojis, code snippet, quotes. You understand? For instance, if I want you to write research on Morgan Freeman, I can add one or two quotes from Morgan Freeman or add one of two of his movies here. Do you understand my point now? Here is to attach document. For instance, if you want to attach this particular document to you, you just click here and then add that document here. Do you understand? Okay, so that's how to do this in case you're the one doing it by yourself. But if your client is the one pointing you to this interface, you know what happens here. And then when you are done, click here. But you're not done, because this is what you're going to do next. You're going to bring out a label. Okay, so this shows you the urgency of this task. Label is used to design the urgency, identify the urgency, or state the urgency of this particular task. Now labels, click labels. Okay, and then when you click labels, and then you come here and click create new label. When you click create new label, you give the label a title. All right, the title will identify the urgency of that task, of this particular task. How fast does he want you to do this fast, or how fast do you want your boss to attend to this particular task? If you looked at our email management, we created labels, and then in those labels you can also give it color based on what you feel like it represents. But in this case, the color here represents the urgency or the speed with which you want, or your boss wants you to tackle that particular task. So you click label here, you click create new label, you can click this, okay, and then give it a title. You can call it urgent, like very, very urgent, and then click on create. If you don't click on create, you will not create. Okay, so now we have created this particular label, and then click here to create another label. Okay, so this is, say this is high. Okay, you can see that we already created this one, that's why it has a check mark. Okay, so click here and then click on this and then name it high. All right, and then click on create. Now we have two created. We need two more. All right, and then we need this one. Click here, and I think this is the one we know that. Okay, so this one, and name it medium. All right, okay, yes, high, medium, and then we need this one as low, this one as low. So click on create here, and then you can see it has already brought itself up. So but we need this particular color, so we need this particular color as low. Okay, or this one, let's use this one as low, to have cohesion. So you can see the color design here. So we have this one as urgent, very urgent, and this one as high, and this one as medium, and this color as low. So that tells us the urgency with which you want this task to be tackled. So you can see it here. So which one are we going to select for this particular task? We select this one. Okay, and then the next one we are going to do is date. Date is which day does he want you to do this job? Which day? What's the deadline for this particular task? It's on 18th. Okay, let's leave it on 18th, right? And click on save. And then the next one is checklist. Checklist is for you to be able to accomplish this task. What are the tasks that you need to accomplish? Do you understand? Like if you want to go and cook food, right? The task here is, let me show you. The task here is, okay, your task is to come up with 5 to 10 video ideas based on our niche. What are the things you need to do to accomplish this particular task? The first thing you need to do is go to perplexity. So click checklist, the title, all right, checklist, and then click on add. Click on add. This means add. And when you click on add, you come to this place, and then add, go to perplexity, and answer the public. say this is the first thing you have to do. The second thing is open Google Doc. The next thing is get Chat GPT and Claude. So let's assume that these are the things you need to do, okay? And then after writing them down, identifying your checklist so that when you go to perplexity, you can come here and tick this box. You can see it has shown that you have done 33% of what you need to accomplish this task. And then when you can see how it is crossed. And then when you are done again on this one, when you open Google Doc, click it. When you get ChatGPT and Claude, click it. So now it is assumed that this task is done, like done. Okay, let's uncheck it because we haven't done the task. And then the next thing here is members. Members are which member of the team is assigned to do this task. The member is Chidema, so you have to add Chidema's email address here. Okay, but since I don't have Chidema's email address, all I have to do is add mine. Okay, Lawrence King Word. So that person is not here because the person hasn't been added to the team. You have to really add that person to the team, right? By inviting him, by sharing this with you here before the person, because you can be populated here. So I'm just going to click myself and then add myself as the person who is going to do it. Do you understand? Okay. And then the next thing we have to do is attachment. Attachment is if you want to attach anything, if you want to attach any project here, you just click here and then insert the project, and that's it. So when you are done, just click here and click save. So you can see this is our task here. This is our task. And then this task now belongs to Chidema, but there's no Chidema here because, of course, I don't have her contact. Okay. Now you can see that this to do here, we have this task here. All right. So let's add one more task. Let's add other task, and I will use that to teach you something. So here, so let us get the next one, the second one. You click this add a card and then add the second task. Click on add and then another box shows up for you to paste a title. Okay, and then click the next one, go to the next one. Open it here, click on add. Okay, so those are the, if you look at it here, this is the ideation phase. This is the what? Ideation phase. All right. And now what you are going to do here is, you see this task, it is on to-do list, but when you start doing the task, when you who is assigned to do this task, when you start doing the task, okay, you simply move this to this place. So now we are doing it. When your boss comes to this board and sees that this task has been moved here, she will just relax because you are on top of your game, you are doing your job. And when you are done, right, you move this task to what? Review, so that your boss can review it. When she has reviewed it and you have done the job perfectly, you move this thing to project completed. Do you understand? Now we have this one to do. So you move it here. When you continue, when you start doing it, you move it to this place, doing, to show that you are doing this job. You are on top of this task. And when you have finished doing it, you submit it for what? Review. The person who is going to review it will look at it. If it is good, right, you move it down to this place. But if you have not done it well, you simply move it back to doing and ask you to go and redo it again. Do you understand my point? So that's how Trello works, and that's why organizations use it. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is to fill out these fill out these tasks so that you can use it to learn something else. So put it here, okay, and then double click it, and then come here and add description. Check search demand YouTube. Put it here. So this is the description of the task. All right. So you can use this to set this to I edit it the way you like, and then add labels. Okay. The label we are going to use is use this one. You can see here. Okay. So you have added the label, date, the next one. The deadline is 18th. So click save. Next one is checklist. What do we need to do to accomplish this particular goal? All right. All right, so what we need to do is go to YouTube search, and next one is go to go to TubeBuddy, go to TubeBuddy, right? Next one is go to amazon.com. All right, so those are the things we need to do to accomplish this particular task. And the next one we have to do is what? Members, add members. And then I have to add myself because, of course, this is me here, members. But if I have other team members, I simply, I select them here and they will appear here, meaning that is the person that is responsible for this particular job, right? And then if I want to attach any attachment or location, but I don't want to attach anything. So when my boss comes here and then he will drop a comment here, right? Don't use TubeBuddy. We don't trust it. And then save. Okay, now you are going to see it. Anybody who has access to this can drop a comment here and then you will see all that comment. All right, and then you save here and then click out. You can see, look at it here. This is what we just set up now. And then let us do this one. I'll do it very fast. So what happened here now is we have three tasks, all right, in the ideation phase. This is the ideation phase, all right. So we have three tasks here, and these are the three tasks. The first task is in doing, is in review. This one is already completed. Let's move it to completed project, and then this one for what? Review, and this one doing. So we don't have any more tasks to do here. So what we are going to do is come here and move on to the next one. You can simply copy this and drop it here. So now we have a new task. So when you think you are done with your job and then you open this place or you receive a mail and then open this place, you see a new task, you simply go to work, you click it, and then set up the task the way we did it, or your boss has already done it, right? But if you're the project manager, you can simply set it up and then add the team member that is responsible for this task, and that team member will be notified so that he or she can also get to work. That is your job as either a VA or a project manager. So now I want to show you something. This is what is called a board. Okay, let me show you a board. Okay, this is BOARD. This is called a board interface. Now let me show you another interface. Now these are all the interfaces that Trello has, or every project management tool has all these interfaces. Now this is a board. This is where we are now. Now look at the table. This is how a table looks like. All right. So this is the cards. This is what the to do. This is what we have as cards. This is design first. This is what is on the to do right now. You can see this is what we have on the to do, and then this one is in doing. This is on this check search demand is on ready for review, and brainstorm concept. This one is project completed. All right. And then look at the labels. Look at the labels here. This is low, high, urgent, and then look at the team members. This has a team member to this task has been assigned to a team member. This task has been assigned to a team member, but this task has not been assigned to a team member. So you can click here and then add a team member, which is me, and then the team member is added. And then these are the date for this. These are date for submission, which means this task has to be ready on or before June 18. Now this has no label, this has no member, and this has no what? This has no what? Date, right? So this can click here and move it to doing, all right? But we want to leave it to what? To do. Okay, and the label is low, the team member is Lawrence, okay, because that's the only team member, and the date is this. So okay, medium, and team member is Lawrence. So with this, on this interface, you can actually set this up, and you can also choose the date here, which is 18th, and then save, and now everything is set up. And now you can click here to add more card and list. But let me show you another interface here. See, this is just table. Let me show you a calendar interface. Look at how it will appear on the calendar. Okay, you can see this is 18th of June, where you have these tasks to be completed. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. All these tasks are to be completed on the 18th of June. But if we had tasks to be completed on this date, like 31st, 1st, 2nd, all these, you will still have all these tasks here. That's why when you open some project board and they are using a calendar interface. All right, and then you see all the projects that will be completed on Monday will be here. Project that will be completed on Wednesday will be here. Project that will be completed on 12th will be here, which is Friday. Do you understand? But right now, all the projects we just set up will be completed on Thursday. See, this Thursday here on 18th of this month, June. So now, apart from calendar, you also have dashboard. This is how a dashboard looks like. All right. So you should be able to read this dashboard. This is a to-do. This is doing. This is ready for review, and this is project completed. All of them, they have one card, one card, one card, one card, one card. Okay. And then this is card per date. These are dates. Okay. Date due, date due, date due, date due, date due. All the dates, right? You have just one date, which is 18th, and that 18 has four cards. Four cards. Okay. And then card per label. This label has one card, this label has one card, this label has one card, and this label has one card. Is that clear? Okay. Remember what we said label is. Okay. And then card per member. This is one member has four cards. I am the member here and I have four cards because we have four cards there and I'm the only member. Okay. Unassigned. There's no project that is unassigned. There is no project that is unassigned. Every project has been assigned. You can click this plus to add more cards and lists. Right, so the next one is a timeline. This is how a timeline looks like, almost like a calendar, but this is different. Now you can see this is Thursday, 18th of June. You can see the task here. You can see the task here. There are no other tasks here. There are no other tasks here. This is the only task I will have. So if your company is using any of this interface, you should be able to understand how to, understand them or read them or join the work and perform your job. All you have to do is just, if this is you, if this is you now, this is your own task, simply double click it and then you arrive here and then see what's here. So, all right. So that is it. And I believe I've covered almost everything here. Now let's go and look at our assignment. So this one here is your assignment. I want you to use this, okay, and design your own board, right? So let me also show you something, okay? And let's go to board and I'll show you something, okay? So let's click on create and then click on create board. I'm showing you how to do the assignment right now, but in a different way. And then click here and then choose a background. I will leave this background and then name it YouTube video for week 2. Okay, and then we have it here. But this is what I want to do. I want to name this as Chidima's task. And I name this as Mary's task. And I name this as ready for review. And then I name this as project completed. Click add. And then have 4 lists here. Let us add cards here. This task belongs to Chidima. This task is for Mary. And when any of them finish their task, they simply move it here for me to review it. And when I have reviewed it and I think they have done a good job, I move the task to what? Project completed. But if I think they have not done a good job, I move that particular task back to whoever I assigned it for. Let me show you an example. You come here and then take this one and drop it here for Chidima. This is Chidima's task. This is Chidima's task. Add a different card for her. Alright. Add it here. Copy this task and add it here for Chidima. Okay, so Chidima has 1, 2, 3 tasks. And then Mary has how many tasks? Mary has this one. Copy this. Add. And then copy this. Add. Okay, so now they have, this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So they both have 3 tasks. So in the morning when they wake up, they come to this place and they say, okay, I have 3. Chidima will say, okay, I have 3 tasks to accomplish today. And then Mary also we say, oh, I have 3 tasks to accomplish today. Now what should we do is to double click this and see, the details of the task. This is the details of the task. Okay, this is the details of the task, and let us add label. This is the, let us create some labels, and we create urgent for this one. Okay, create, and then we create click on create again, so we have all the labels together. This, and then call it high, create, and then create again. We choose this for medium, and then click create, and then create again. You choose this for low, and then click create. Okay, and then now we are done. All right, so what we need to do is, this particular task now has low, is low, so uncheck this, and uncheck this, so that it will be medium. Okay, and then you can see medium here, and then date. Which date do I want her to finish this job? 19th. All right, and then click on, and then what does she need to do? She'll be the one to write what she needs to do. I want her to be the one to determine what she needs to do to accomplish this. So I'm not going to add that. And then member, I'm going to add Chidema. So let's assume that this is Chidema. So I will name her here so that she'll get notified immediately. Okay, so you can see Chidema will appear here. All right, and then if there's anything I want to attach, I'll put it here. Or if I want to attach a location for her to go and do this job, I'll put it here, but there's no need for that. So I click save. If I want any comment, I simply add the comment here, but I don't want to add any comment, so I get out of here. You can see this task code is already set up right now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the same for all this. And now when Chidema finishes this task, what she's going to do, she'll move it to review, right? And then when I look at it and I think, oh, she has done a good job, I'll move it to what? Project completed. Mary will finish this task and move it to what? Review. And then when I look at it and I think she has done a good job, I'll move it to what? Completed. And then Mary will put this one again. Oh, ma'am, I have finished this job. I will look at it and I'll say, oh no, Mary, you haven't actually finished this job. I will come here and write my comment. Please add more pictures and subsections marked clearly. And that's what I want her to do. And then I will get out of here. So Chidema will simply review this. Okay, you can see it has been reviewed and there's a comment. Can you see my hand? It has been reviewed and there's a comment. Okay, so I will move it back to Chidema. Say you haven't done this well. And then when Chidema comes here, you can see the difference between these 3 and this. This is being reviewed and there's a comment. This none. Okay, so what she's going to do is to work on it and then move it back. And then when I review it and she has done a good job, I'll move it here. And this is how the work gets done every day as a virtual assistant. All right, because you are working with somebody who is not in the same office with you, so the person cannot physically monitor you. So this is how it is done. You can move this to this place. So this is it. And then when you click here to see how these things look in table, this is how it looks in a table, and then this is how it looks in a calendar. All right, how it looks in a calendar, and this is how it looks in a dashboard. Okay, and this is how it looks in a timeline. All right, so you can see. So let's go back to board. All right, so that is how to use Trello as a beginner, and I believe you must have learned something today. And if you love this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up or sharing it, or at the same time tell me in the comment section what you think I should have explained better, or what you don't understand yet about Trello, or where you are in your journey. And if you want to join the Virtual Assistant Bootcamp by Go Remote Africa, go to the description of this video and click the link there and then get started. All right, so this is the end of the video, and I will see you in another video. Bye.